Well, another day, another scandal that's been reported that is swirling around Kash Patel, Donald Trump's embattled nominee to head the FBI. This has to do with an investment in a company that's controlled by another Chinese company that has been accused by the US government and even people associated with Donald Trump as using forced labor to make their fashion products, using and exploiting an ethnic minority in China known as the Uyghurs, using Uyghur forced labor. And it looks like, based on the reporting and the disclosures made by Kash Patel, that he's invested in a Cayman Island holding company that's controlled by Shein, Shein, a Chinese company that uses forced labor. I'm Michael Popok. I'll explain it all here on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Now, as part of his confirmation process, Kash Patel had to disclose his financial holdings. He apparently is vesting, meaning he is earning over time equity interests in a company that he has disclosed as being named Elite Depot, a Cayman Island holding company. He says it's a fashion company, but it's not a fashion company. It's a holding company. And a parent company that controls it apparently is this Shein Chinese company. Shein has been on the watch list of the State Department and other governmental entities, including with the Trump administration, for a long time. I mean, the Trump administration right now is considering putting Shein on a watch list for using forced labor. The forced labor being the ethnic minority that's being exploited in China, the Uyghurs. Okay, what's the connection with Kash Patel? The company that he is getting equity in and is bought into or was paid as part of some sort of consultancy and earning up to $1 to $5 million, that's the range on the disclosure form, is owned by the company that used forced Uyghur labor to build and make and manufacture its products. And he refuses to divest. He has said he's earning these shares. They're not his yet, but he's getting them over time. It'll be after the confirmation process, and he has no intention of divesting it. That's the thing about the Trump administration. They have no interest in resolving ethical conflicts because they don't see any ethical financial conflicts or entanglements of any of their people. I mean, the Commerce Secretary filed, 500 pages of disclosures about 1,400 companies that he's a part of, including this giant financial services company and public services companies, and all of that. Every one of them, Pam Bondi, with millions and millions of dollars of lobbying for foreign countries against America's interests. And you've got an investment by the FBI director nominee in a company that's notoriously against human rights. How is he going to crack down on human trafficking, the question goes, if he himself is invested in a company that exploits labor of a compelled slave market in China? Now, Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, he did get confirmed. He just recently, with Senator Tom Cotton, was all over the Chinese exploitation of Uyghur and of Shein in particular, and came out strongly against them. But now that he's the Secretary of State, he's lost all convictions. He's lost all of his cojones to fight back. Is that it? Loyalty to Donald Trump is more important than human rights violations? Are we okay as an American people having an FBI director who's invested in a company that's controlled by a Chinese company that's bases its business model on forced labor in 2025? Is that okay? So Shein is already on a list of forced labor list. Even an entity known as America First, founded by Stephen Miller, Donald Trump's White House counselor now. It was sort of a think tank where all the MAGA went to wait for Donald Trump to become president again. Even America First published a paper called Genocide Decoupling, which listed Shein as being an entity that exploits ethnic minorities and forced labor for their products. And you'd think, well, maybe Kash Patel didn't get the memo from America First Policy Institute. He worked there. He was a senior fellow. And the person that was right next to him that was running their constitutional law and litigation department was Pam Bondi, who's now his ultimate boss as the director of or the attorney general of the Department of Justice. This is the charade that we spend a considerable amount of time and effort here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF exposing. If you're not okay with this reporting about Kash Patel owning into a company that's this closely related to a company using forced labor in China and human rights issues that result from that, speak to your local senator, speak to your senator. You got 2 in each state. Object and stop the confirmation of Kash Patel. Now, I know a lot of these are getting through. Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Russ Vought for the Office of Management and Budget. Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. Pete Hegseth, one of the most obscenely unqualified, for the Pentagon by 1 vote. It was a tie. It was broken by the Vice President, J.D. Vance. The only time I've seen him in the last 20 days. In addition to that, you've got others coming up, right? You've got RFK Jr.'s and his confirmation vote coming up and the rest. But I want to expose this. I really appreciate the reporting that I've seen on this particular issue. Keep an eye on Shein, Shein, Kash Patel's involvement through a company named Elite Depot and his shares that he's holding and refusing to sell. We'll do it right here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. Follow me, Michael Popok, on all things at the intersection of law and politics. I do my law and politics commentary in 2 places, MeidasTouch Network and on our collaborative channel called Legal AF, MTN for MeidasTouch Network. Help us continue to grow that pro-democracy channel. Help us get to 500,000 before our half birthday. It's hard to believe. It's all because of you. I'm doing my curating part. We're busting our hump doing the content, but you're a loyal, engaged audience, and we really appreciate you and that, and we are humbled by it. We stand on your shoulders for everything that we do. Wednesdays and Saturdays, Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Legal AF, the podcast on this YouTube channel. I got so excited. We're the OG podcast, 5 years in the making at the intersection of law and politics, ranked top 8 in the world. Again, all because of you, not because of us. And then I got a new podcast called Popok Live, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on this YouTube channel. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.